Their response was, they said, it is but a mixture of false dreams, and we are not learned in the interpretation of dreams. But the one who was freed and remembered after a time said, I will inform you of its interpretation, so send me forth. The same man, now what happened? He remembered that Yusuf once upon a time gave him the interpretation of his dream, so he said, send me to the prison, I'll go and inquire about the interpretation of this dream. So he said, Yusuf, O man of truth, Yusufu ayyuha siddiq. He is known for his truthfulness, yet where is he? In the prison. Explain to us about 7 fat cows eaten by 7 that were lean, and 7 green spikes of grain, and others that were dry, that I may return to the people. Perhaps they will know about you. Or perhaps they will know what to do about this dream. Yusuf said, you will plant for 7 years consecutively, and what you harvest, leave in its spikes, except a little from which you will eat. Then will come after that 7 difficult years, which will consume what you saved for them. 7 thin cows will consume the 7 fat ones, except a little from which you will store. Then will come after that a year in which the people will be given rain, and in which they will press olives and grapes, meaning they will press oil, they will press juice. So when this interpretation was brought to the king was astonished. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ ائْتُونِي بِهِ. And the king said, bring him to me. The king knew that the one who interpreted the dream for him was no ordinary man. He was someone who was a man of intelligence and a man who was wise. So the king said, just bring him to me. But when the messenger came to Yusuf, Yusuf a.s. said, return to your master and ask him, what is the case of the women who cut their hands? Indeed, my Lord is knowing of their plan. Yusuf a.s. does not rush out of the prison. And we see his patience over here, his trust in Allah over here. Generally what happens, when we are waiting for relief, when we're waiting for some blessing, as soon as we see it, we jump at it. We're waiting for iftar time, and what happens? As soon as the time tells us that we can break our fast, without even thinking, we start gobbling up food. Look at the patience of Yusuf a.s. He's not hasty. Before he steps out of the prison, he wants to make sure that the people will actually trust him. He wants to establish trust. And how will that be? When his record is clear. When he's declared innocent of a crime that he was falsely accused of. Why? Because as a prophet, he had a very important role to play. As a person who was going to help people, he had to be someone who was trustworthy. He had to be someone that people felt comfortable with. So if this was a man who had been accused of playing with women, then how could people trust him? And we see that all of the prophets of Allah, what was their quality? That they were all known for their truthfulness and their trustworthiness. So Yusuf a.s. wants to make sure that he has a clear record. And we see that on the one hand, our matter is with Allah. But on the other hand, our matter is also with the people. Generally, it happens that when we are falsely accused, or when people have a wrong impression about us, we say, it's okay, I don't care about it. Why? Because Allah knows my reality. Yes, definitely, Allah knows our reality. But when we do have a chance, an opportunity to clarify our position before people, we should do so. It doesn't mean that all of the time we should be concerned about defending our image, protecting our image in front of other people. No. But when Allah does give us a chance to correct our affairs before people, then we must seize that opportunity and establish trust. Because if there is no trust between people, then there can be no long-term relationship in them. Then they cannot benefit from each other. Then no matter how much good you wish to bring to people, you cannot bring it because they're not willing to receive it. So Yusuf a.s. is very patient over here also. The king said to the women, now the king takes the matter in his own hand. Just imagine, they threw him in the prison without even proving him guilty. And now what do we see? The king is taking the matter in his own hand, establishing the innocence of Yusuf a.s. But notice, this was after several years. Several years. In the meantime, Yusuf a.s. had to be in the prison because he had to experience something over there that he wouldn't otherwise experience. He had to learn something there that he could not otherwise learn. Many times it happens that Allah also puts us through some hardship. Times of loneliness. Times when we feel like our talents, our abilities are being wasted. We are imprisoned. We are locked up. But in that also, if a person accepts the decree of Allah, there will be learning. As we see Yusuf a.s., his time in the prison didn't go waste. There was a reason why Allah kept him there. And when Allah brought him out, then we see that he is declared completely innocent. The king said to the women, "What was your condition when you sought to seduce Yusuf?" They said, "Perfect is Allah. We know about him no evil." The wife of the Aziz said, "Now the truth has become evident. It was I who sought to seduce him. And indeed he is of the truthful." Before she said this in front of her friends, that he did not listen to me. And now she says this in front of the king. She publicly confesses that she was guilty and Yusuf a.s. was innocent. That is so that the Aziz will know that I did not betray him in his absence, and that Allah does not guide the plan of the betrayers. Why is that woman confessing now? To also make it clear to her husband that she did not betray him. And we can also understand these words to be the words of Yusuf a.s. That why is it that he's insisting that his innocence be revealed? To make the Aziz, his master, know that Yusuf a.s. never betrayed him. Because if Yusuf had betrayed his master, then could other people trust him? Could other people trust him? No. If his master had not been safe with regards to his wife, then how could people be safe with regards to their property, with regards to their future, with regards to their finances? So Yusuf a.s., why is he going through this lengthy process of making sure that his innocence is revealed? That is so that my master will know that I did not betray him in his absence, and that Allah does not guide the plan of the betrayers. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.